Hello and welcome to Kelly's Wordy Reactions. So I want to thank you all for coming to check out the video today. Um, where's my intro? All right. We're not going to do a formal intro, and it's not going to be a really long video. If you saw the title that I have up here, Shannon Sharpe, another rich black man plays the fool, loses his Goottt job, and about to lose millions, along with a good reputation. I think Shannon Sharpe did have a decent reputation, I guess. I'm not like a huge um, football and sports watcher. I do watch a bit. I am a Dallas Cowboys fan because I'm in the Metroplex. But other than that, I think Shannon Sharpe had a pretty good reputation by the fact that he was on ESPN. Um, he had a good good football career. And then also he had his club Shay Shay and um, his other podcast with Ocho Cinco. I'm familiar with it, but I never watched that one. I just look at the celebrities that he brings on Club Shay Shay. So, um, he was doing his thing, and I thought that was, good for him. But it looks like the some of the worst has happened, which is him losing his job, his place on ESPN. Which we want to own things, and owning things is good, but a lot of times your job is what has gotten you to the place where you had something to own. Also, from what I'm understanding about Club Shay Shay, is it not like a podcast that he totally set up on his own? I'm from some of the things that I'm seeing, I don't think it is. I think it's more of a podcast that it was set up and he was brought into it. So maybe that's not even his own either. But just quickly, I wanted to go over his statement that I found on his Instagram page that reads, "My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual." And when he talks about this relationship, this is the one with the young woman who is suing him. And she is saying that he, took things from her, physical things. So, and let's see, I'll get her name here in a minute, but he's being sued. In the past couple of days, I think she dropped voice recordings onto the internet. Then, well, she sued him. She dropped the voice recordings onto the internet, very damning sounding voice recordings. Then he dropped what I understand to be like lots of text messages that kind of prove up their relationship, that it was um, a fetish type relationship, and basically trying to say that that's what was going on in the voice recording. And so yeah, it's just it's very ugly, messy. It's embarrassing. I would think it would be somewhat embarrassing for him. um and it looks like it's just getting expensive, and it's, I don't know, foolish, but that's my opinion. So at this, he says, "At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN, ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues. Shannon Sharpe. So all I have to say is, I guess he hopes he will be returning to ESPN. That's going to probably largely depend upon, the network, the ESPN, the network, um, whether, how messy this actually gets. So, we'll see. We'll see, Shannon. I see some of these comments over here. The Real Big Jerk 2.0 says, with Shannon, we stand button. I don't get that one. Okay. And he's verified, but I don't know who he is. Okay. Andre Berto says, thank God Unc owns his podcast shows. Does he? That's the thing. And can continue working while all this is going on. I wonder about that. The Garrick Dixon says, damn, Unc, we still riding with you, bro. Chap McCoy has got this meme of or gif of what is it? Is this prayer? Charlemagne, DMX. I don't want to click on it. Looks like Charlemagne and DMX and somebody else praying. So I guess that means they're praying for him. And then Brian Maxwell _12 says, we got your back, Unc, and stand by you. Keep your head up and stay strong, fam. All right. Inside the cave. Snoop Dogg gift says, that's some bull. Mark the Mogul says, dap me up, from Shannon Sharpe. Okay, so all these people are basically, they're basically giving him support. Denzel creates, telling the truth in the booth, Sabretooth, Shannon Fry. Telling the truth in the booth, Sabretooth, Shannon Fried. Okay, so this sounds like somebody who's trying to be truthful. Let's see. Hello. Good afternoon, Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame. How are you? Happy Friday, lady. Thank you. Hello, lady 747. Woo, boy, Shannon. Wait a minute. The Sonya face is too much. Hello, Keisha Marie. Hello. Happy Friday to you as well. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank y'all for coming in. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of tap in and see what you all think about the Shannon Sharpe mess. But the real reason is I hadn't realized that he had lost his, well, I'm saying he lost his job. He's saying that he elected to step aside temporarily. So, I mean, okay, but I don't know. I think this depends. I think him going back depends on how messy this eventually gets. So, he could say he's electing to step aside if he wants to, but if all of this gets too rough, and it does just seem so ugly. Just today, let me see, what is her name? I'm going to try to go to her Instagram. Her name is Gabrielle something. Let's see. Gabriella Zuniga. Let me go over to her Instagram and see. see if she is she had a statement today earlier. Let's see, what did she say? Okay. She doesn't have a verified check, so I don't know which one of these Gabriella Zuniga she is. Let me search it again. There's one with official. I don't think this is her. And let's see. Make sure I'm spelling her name right. Gabriella, yeah, Zuniga. Let's see, Gabriella Zuniga. See if she's the one that says official. No, okay. So I guess I may not be able to find her. Let's see what y'all are saying. Is it LSWS Mile, creating generational wealth for this young white woman? Shaking my head. Yeah. That's, if they're not making all their money to give away to the white, and somebody else called her white adjacent because I guess she's some type of Latina, but white and white adjacent women, and they're, the white lawyer, the white lawyer is certainly white, and he's going to get broke off. He's going to get broke off big time. Let me see. I really want to. I wanted to bring up her post. Let's see. Instagram. Let's see if this might get me there. Just pulling it up on Google. Okay, it's not easy. I'll probably come back to when I find it and bring it up later. Hi, Keisha Marie. Oh, I'm sorry. I did already speak to you, Keisha Marie. Okay. They always fall for the okie doke. Yeah, like, and it's just like, okay, another one. They're just like willfully biting the dust here. I know we talk about other people being willfully ignorant and stuff like that, but at this point, this is just, you're just walking into this. Running in, some of the things that he was saying to her, I would think I don't know, you can't afford to be that way. When you are, you have a nickel and a dime and a quarter and a few dollars, and you have established yourself, and you are a celebrity, you're out here in the public, you're talking about how much people are talking about, maybe he doesn't, I don't know, but people are talking about how much money he's making. And then you're, up here with this very, very, very young woman, just doing the most. I'm trying to think, what do you think is going to happen? Later, if not sooner, what do you think is going to happen? And he's privy to all of these other celebrities' and everything that's happening with everybody right now. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what did he think was eventually gonna happen to him while being this way. And then, you know, it just recently had the what was supposedly a live that he didn't set himself to go live when he was about to sleep with the woman. So that wasn't even that long ago. I'm just trying to figure out what type of death wish on your career are you trying to have? So I don't know. I've heard that going viral is is kind of like a feeling that people keep trying to chase. And so maybe that's it, because I don't know though. I mean, you're on TV all the time on ESPN. Like, what are you trying to do? Because, you have a good income, you have two good shows, but maybe going viral with Cat Williams was just too much. And maybe he's, I don't know, chasing it or something. I don't know. It's all very weird. But whatever happened, this is his bed that he made, and he has to lay in it. Um, Dating somebody, whatever the situation was, in I don't know, I have no clue. But in my opinion, this was somebody that he was paying. I've heard she's the OnlyFans model. I feel like this was somebody he was paying so that he could have that type of relationship with them, where he talked to her like he wanted to, where she did the type of stuff that he likes done, and where he paid to get it all packaged up like he liked it. And I mean, if that's what you're doing, then this is the type of thing that's going to happen on the flip side of it, or at least you have to be prepared that this is what might happen. So, I don't think anybody that's 19, they're saying that she was 19 when they met. I don't think this young woman in any type of a world wanted Shannon Sharpe and was really attracted to him. If she's on OnlyFans, then at least parts of her is for sale. So that's what it seems like to me. He probably doesn't want to just come out and say, "Hey, I was her sugar daddy. I was paying for what I wanted. She was good with it. I guess, she decided that she wants a big payday, but I paid for everything that I wanted and she was okay with it. This is how we talk to each other." I don't think that him saying that they had some type of boyfriend girlfriend relationship is doing him any good, because we never saw her. We saw his stylist all the time, but we never saw her. So if you were in some type of a relationship with her, where was she? Where's she been at all these 2 or 3 years? It'd be better to say, this is what I was paying for, and she was okay with it. And that's what I was doing. And now she wants a big payout. And I can show you receipts. Here's my bank transfers where I was transferring a certain amount of money. I mean, is that legal? Probably not, but that would probably look better than him trying to say we were in some type of relationship with this 19 to 22-year-old girl, and she liked me for real and I liked her. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. She didn't like you. You were paying her for this, and this is what it was. And so anyway, we'll see what ends up happening, but this is what he wanted. So this is what he got. You lost your job on ESPN. You're gonna get replaced. they're probably, I mean, I'm going to say it's a 98% chance they're not going to take him back. And that's probably being generous. He's talking about he's coming back in the NFL preseason. I don't see it. You know, you've lost your reputation, other than with some other degenerates that are dapping you up about this so-called relationship, where really you're just taking your money and paying. And he's even got he has show footage where he was saying that he doesn't want to date his age. He wants to date his wage. Okay? So this is another reason I'm saying this. He wants to want what he wants and pay for it. That's what so why not just come on out and say that? That would be so much better. Than, you know, that would justify this whole thing more. You're, you know, you like that type of stuff and you were paying for it. Let's see. Why can't they just get wives, or at a minimum a woman over 30 just sick? Keisha Marie. I mean, if we had the answer to that, but we don't. It's, you know, this is the type of stuff that people want to do. You know, and not everybody, certainly not everybody, but you know, this is him. This is him when nobody's watching. You know, I remember a long time ago I heard this sermon that said the preacher said, what you do in private is what you are, period. This is him. This is Shannon Sharpe. So, you know, it is what it really is what it is. A lady 747 said he had to pay off a coworker for a AB also. Ooh. Okay, I need to look into that. I hadn't heard that. Wow. And men also. Wow. Yeah, you know, I was listening to Funky Dineva earlier, and Funky Dineva said that a lot of times people that do what he's doing here are gay. And, you know, Funky Dineva is gay, so I guess he would know a little bit about the subject matter. And he said, you know, a lot of times somebody like this young woman is not going to notice or care about some of the nuances that a woman somewhere near his age would. And it, you know, wouldn't even have to be a woman. I guess he's like 56. You know, it wouldn't even have to be a woman that old, but, you know, even 38 to 50, you know, somebody, you know, his own somewhat of an equal would notice some of the nuances of some of the down low, you know, type things that he would probably be displaying. And he said a lot of men like this, they don't want, you know, they don't want to be found out like that. So they get a very young woman, a woman of another whole other culture that doesn't know anything about his culture and different, you know, nuances and things that somebody else would notice that she wouldn't. And so that's why a lot of times they get these people. And that's being generous. I don't think there was a relationship. I just think Shannon was paying. Like he said, I want to pay what I want to pay my, I want, no, I don't want to pay. I want to date my wage. That's what he said. And I think it was on his podcast with Ocho Cinco. Hey, Dimples Wimples 504. I'm just coming in to quickly talk about Shannon Sharpe, and how he dove into the foolish pool and got caught out here. Hey, Sunshine. How you doing today? Yeah, this is you know, this is what he wanted to do. And when he was just talking, you know, candidly, he says he wants to date his wage. He wants to pay for what he wants to pay for. So since you already said it, You already said the quiet part out loud, so to speak. You might as well just say what you were doing. And that would actually, in my opinion, that would actually sound way better than you were out here in a relationship with this girl, because that's what don't make no sense. Makes no sense. Dimples Wimples 504 said, I felt in my spirit that big grown ass metrosexual nooka was gay. I mean, why else are you rolling to all these games with your stylist? Why is that happening, sir? You don't have no friends, no cousins. Even if the stylist was there, right? Let's just say your stylist is cool. You want to like treat them. You appreciate the way that they put you together and all that. You don't have any other friends, cousins, brothers, your girlfriend that's supposed to be this woman right here. You don't have nobody else that can go with y'all, just you and him. Yeah, Shannon got exactly what he was looking for. I got nothing to say from Sunshine. I heard that. I heard, yeah, because you're not this stupid. Eventually, you going to sleep every night, hoping and praying that this girl don't come out and say publicly what y'all are doing. So why are you doing it? Why is this even going down like this if you know that you don't have a leg to stand on? I'm sitting on my porch sipping lemonade and eating my popcorn. Nothing else we can do. Nothing else any woman is willing to do anymore. I mean, nobody is willing to do anything to help these people anymore. It's they're on their own. All we can do is sit back and look at the show. He's old enough to be this girl's, yeah, granddaddy. Yep. 22 and he's 56. Yeah. I guess he could be. I mean, he could be her father. Could he be her grandpa? I guess he could. Well, with that being said, and then later on, I want to touch on, that's more of a discussion, the whole thing about Kanye, right? That's more of a discussion. I need some of y'all to come up and talk with me about that whenever I talk about Kanye, because Kanye has gotten on his song. Well, he got on the song and talked about a relationship, a very inappropriate relationship that he and his cousin had when they were kids. And then I guess he talked about, I haven't seen it, I've heard about all this. So then he talked about magazines that he found, then other magazines that he found, and then how he and his cousin acted out this stuff until they were teenagers. Now his cousin is in prison for life, and he's sitting up here talking about it and writing songs about it. I don't know. It's a whole discussion. It's a whole discussion. It's no need in trying to glaze over that one. Yeah. Yes, and it's just I mean, I'm kind of like of the mind with where Cat Williams says, when somebody tells you that they're crazy, why are we listening to them for something sane when they've already told you that they are crazy? So I don't know how much we can rake Kanye over the coals about what he says, because if he really does have these mental illness issues and he's unmedicated and he just does whatever he wants to do, nobody can check him, boo, right? Nobody can say anything to him about what he's doing. I mean, what can we do? He is apparently not trying to bring himself under any type of a control. So anyway, now that he's brought the conversation to the forefront, it's really just something more of a conversation um, about those type of things with children, and how to sort of, make sure as parents and grandparents and caregivers and stuff like that, we protect our kids from that type of stuff. And that's all we can do, because Kanye is, he's going to do Kanye, which means he's going to be out here with his whole mental illness untreated and unchecked, and, until he gets himself in a position where, uh, something worse happens to him. Dimples Wimples 504 said, Kelly, we have formed a DFW group that meets up once a month for lunch. If you would like to join, we all meet through the Nesto sector. Thank you, Nasty Nesto. Oh, thank you, Dimples Wimples 504. Yes, please enlighten me. Send an email to me at right here where it says Kelly's Wordy Reactions, and then just at gmail.com. And I would love to meet up sometime. I sure would. Sure would. If I didn't tell y'all, my youngest son that was 16 and didn't have a driver's license, that was 15 and didn't have a driver's license, turned 16. He's got his driver's license. Unfortunately, he had his first accident about a week and a half after he got his driver's license. But he's back to, we restricted him for about a week, and then now he's back to driving to school and back. And if he wants to go somewhere else, then he has to ask, and I have to think about it and see if I want to let him drive there and all that. But with all that being said, I'm saying all that to say I'm a lot more free than what I used to be, because he can take himself and bring himself back. As a matter of fact, they had a scrimmage yesterday after school, and I went to the scrimmage, and then afterward he came over to the fence, talked to me for a minute, and I said, oh, okay, now what way are you going to come out today? You going to come out the side fence, or you want me to meet you around the front? And he was like, what you talking about? I'm driving. I said, oh my God. Clutch my pearls. My baby is driving his own car. I don't even get to pick him up from the games no more. But yeah, I would love to come. Like I said, it's Kelly's Wordy Reactions at gmail.com. Let me know. Okay. He's fine. He it was a heck of a week. Somebody backed into him at the gym. He was on the aisle going to the gym, and someone backed from the parking space, backed into him. That wasn't his fault. About 2 days the very next day, he was going to get some gas and probably some chips or something, and didn't quite make the stop at the red light and rear-ended somebody. So he had 2 accidents same week, and I can't even imagine what the insurance is gonna be going up to. Maybe I should start praying. Yeah, he's fine in both cases. It was just like, what are you doing? And on the first one, I was cool, calm, collected. When he called me on that second one and told me he hit somebody, I think I was like, what happened? Are you okay? And then once I found out he was okay, I kind of lost it. I hate that, but I did, because it's like, what is going on? I mean, how are you out here? Because he drove everywhere. Like, I'm letting this boy drive everywhere we had to go all this time while he had his permit. Doing pretty good. He likes to drive fast. I was always telling him, you got to slow down. You got to just take it down a notch. And so I'm like, as soon as I get out the car with you, you just running into people. Like, what is going on? What is going on? But thank y'all so much. Yeah, he's okay. And now, you know, he's got to be a lot more thoughtful to get those keys, and he's got to really need to go, and he can't just be jumping in the car. Oh, I'm going to get some gas. Oh, I'm going to get some chips. I'm gonna go get me something to eat. Not no more, bro. You gotta you kind of messed that up, just getting behind the wheel and driving like Speed Racer. But anyway, I'm gonna go, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me, and look for a conversation about. Let's think about that. I guess I need to I'll put out a post and see who wants to talk about. Lady 747 said, poor baby. Yeah, he be young. They gotta learn. And I was hoping he was getting it, getting the point all the time we were driving, but I think he didn't really just get it until that happened. And then, y'all, I'm just gonna say this and I'm gonna go. He hit the people in front of him. The people in front of him, and everybody's car looked like nothing much even happened. But basically, he pushed the people in front of him into the next car, and they pushed into the next car. So this is like a 4-car accident. And then some of those people at the front wanted to call the police. So it wasn't just the insurance exchange. Then it became the police. I was at the gym that evening, so I just get off the bike and just walk out the gym and just jump in my car, try to head back home as fast as I can. Once he said the police were coming, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want him to just be there dealing with the police by himself. So I'm going as fast as I can, trying not to have an accident myself. And, so I get there, and they pulled everybody into the park that was right there across the street. By this time I get there, and, I'm talking to him, and everybody else is just meeting up, looking at their car. The guy in front of him couldn't get even though it didn't look like much damage, he couldn't get his trunk closed once he opened it up. So they're all over there trying to do the trunk. And I'm just like, you see all this? This is what I was trying to help you to avoid. Do you see this? The cops, all these people, and looking at their damage, getting a police report. This is what I was trying to help you avoid. But, sometimes people just they just want to see, I think. She says, does the group post pics? Would love to see them. Oh, okay. Talking to Dimples Wimples. Yeah, and if there's a Facebook group, then I don't know if y'all have a Facebook group, but that'll be helpful to know what that is too. But okay, all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, and I will see you all on the next one. I'll put out a post and see if anybody wants to kind of have a discussion about the whole childhood. I don't even know what that's called, but the essay in children upon children type thing. I'll see if anybody wants to do like a discussion about that on a nighttime. That's gonna have to be an after hours nighttime stream. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me this afternoon, and I'll see y'all a little bit later. Bye bye, everybody.